we have the man himself, Grizz.
No.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
Make sure before anything you hit that like button, you hit that comment, you subscribe. It helps the channel, it helps me out. When I was thinking about bringing on the guests, I was thinking about who we want to have as our first guest of the podcast. I wanted somebody who's going to bring the personality, bring the fire, bring the A game. And I think that's what we have here. Now, when I heard his nickname and I heard this guy was named Grizz, I was thinking like, Grizz? This guy's like a skinny white guy. What the f***? But he's actually Grizz. He actually has it. Grizz, it's nice to see you, eh?
Yeah, for a long time.
So what you're famous for, at least for people on the outside, you're starting this thing called Court Takeovers.
Yep.
And where did you sort of start the Court Takeovers? Because they're getting very popular right now. Was it sort of that you hopped on the trend, or was it that you were the pioneer almost?
Well, we definitely hopped on the trend. So pretty much like, obviously, for the people that know about takeovers, D Friga, Nick Briz, all those guys, you know, they're the ones that are really like boosting all that. And honestly, bro, I just seen a gap in the Canadian market, and I seen that nobody in Canada is really doing takeovers. Nobody's really like making YouTube videos in regards to basketball. So, you know, coming into the summer, you know, me and Showtime, you know, we connected.
Okay, how about you tell the audience who's Showtime? You know, this guy,
bro,
he's pretty much the Michael Jordan of takeovers, I'd say.
He is a demon. That's all I have to say. He's a f***ing demon.
I'm gonna run a clip.
Give me that.
You know, coming into this summer, I called him out on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna tell you guys how we met.
Okay.
So this summer, I called him out on TikTok, and I'm like, yo, like, let's run fives. You bring your five, I bring my five. And, you know, we faced off, and he completely demolished my team. Like, he 2-0'd us in a best-of-3 series. He was giving buckets the whole game. You know, he was playing a little bit of aggressive, but that's what you get when you're playing street ball. And pretty much after that, you know, we got on a phone call, and I told him about, you know, the whole vision and the idea behind, like, you know, what we can do this summer. And it was literally like what I just said. I told him, I'm like, yo, there is a gap in the Canadian market in regards to like basketball and like YouTube and all that stuff. And I'm like, you're a hooper. You're a really good hooper. Like, yo, we can team up. We can gather, you know, 3 other players, and we can try to push this shit in our city. Mm-hmm. She's like, bro, let's do it. And the rest is history. Now we're here.
You know, like mainly the main parks in the world. Rucker Park, Venice Beach, Mosswood. Those are like the main ones where you go to and you're sort of, those are like the main basketball attractions. But Canada, I was looking at the main courts in the world almost. Yeah. Canada ranked, and Toronto in general, ranked 67th on this list. It was 67th, and it was a court in Scarborough. I forget the name. But it just shows how far like the city has sort of come in that sort of sense almost. Don't you feel that?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the reasons why we're ranked so high, or low, high, whatever you want to call it, but like, you know, we're ranked in a pretty tough spot is because of winter. If we're talking about outdoor courts, you don't really have a lot of nice outdoor courts. From what I believe is because of the winter, right? People don't really want to run the maintenance and all that stuff. That's why you see all these like shit double rims. I fucking hate double rims.
So would you say that you play more for the comments, or you play more for that, and your game is more to that? Because I see K Showtime every single time somebody's getting dropped. You know, like somebody's getting dropped, somebody's getting stomped on. Yeah. Are you play more for that, or what's your type of style? Man?
Honestly, I'm not like that anymore. Before in high school, you know, I had a little bit of a temper, right? If you know somebody said something or I got pushed the wrong way, I would react very quick. But obviously, like, as I grew older, you know, I've learned to control my emotions and obviously not react to situations like that. Mm-hmm. That's Showtime.
Yeah.
Me, I'm more of that humble dude. Let me get my buckets, go down the court, play defense, do whatever I can to keep the momentum going and, you know, make sure my teammates are good. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much my role.
The main thing is, like, okay, now people are caring because you have obviously, you created the channel and people know you sort of now. And it's like, mm-hmm. okay, Grizz is sort of a recognizable name where you can say, oh, he's a basketball guy. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, at what point do you sort of shift away from that? In a podcasting sense, like in my scenario where I'm at, when you have a podcast, a lot of these guys, like, they're athletes. They're they're celebrities, they're people that have already made a fame, comedians. They've already made sort of a call to fame from something else. Yeah. So you naturally like care about them. You know, you naturally are just gonna say, oh, this guy, it's like, oh, that's Joe Rogan right there. You know, I'm gonna care because I see him in the UFC. Or, hey, that's Mike Tyson. Obviously, we all know Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
But sort of, where can you sort of draw that line? And do people still? Do you think people will still care about you that you're doing the vlogs now? Do you think that it will translate?
To be honest, to the viewers, don't take this the wrong way, but I don't give a I'm seriously, like, I'm doing this in a form of expression. Like how people get behind the mic and sing and do, you know, and how people, like, you know, sketch. Like, it's an art. It's an art to create videos. And honestly, like, I don't care what people really think. If I want to post a vlog, I'm going to post a vlog, whether you like it or not. Obviously, we're human. If I don't see I'm getting as many views as I should be getting, like, I'm going to get a little bit like, what the heck, right? But at the same time, I got to correct myself and be like, yo, remember, you're doing this to feel fulfilled. You're doing this to make yourself happy. You're not doing it to fucking show, like, yeah, of course, you know, you're showcasing what you're doing to other people, to the viewers and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it comes back to you, right? And it comes back to your happiness and how fulfilled do you feel making these videos?
Yeah.
And I feel fulfilled.
And that's the most important part, because whenever you do something that you're passionate about, and I can tell that you're passionate about it and that you really want to, like, get into it, but that's the main thing. Not enough people get and start that thing, or they find that passion, or they're trying to find something that, okay, maybe my friend told me this, I'm not working out. Would you say that for yourself at least, that like the hard times and like when you were down, that sort of motivated you to get back up?
Bro, honestly, like, I'm not going to say names and stuff like that, but pretty much I was in a relationship with an individual. And, you know, we were together for a long time. And because of immaturity, because of, you know, a lot of negative situations and, you know, negative experiences that we went through, we weren't mature enough to really, you know, deal with them the right way. So unfortunately, we broke up, right? And after that, I pretty much went through what people like to call is a spiritual awakening. So
spiritual awakening.
Yeah. So I went through a spiritual awakening, and, you know, I got into like meditating. I got into like energy frequencies, all that stuff. I started listening to, you know, Alan Watts, like all these people, right? Like Spiritual Soul, to the people, you know, to the young guys that might know Spiritual Soul. Like, I was listening to all these people, right? And I'm like, yo, like this shit's some gems, bro. And this was a field I was never really like tapped in with. And ever since I left high school, like, I was like, yo, like, my best friend Patrick, he's supposed to be here today. Fucking Patrick, bro. Motherfucker.
Patrick, off.
Yeah, bro. Guy, bro. But no, man. Shout out to Patrick. Patrick, his name's Polish Camera Guy. That's what we call him.
Okay. Is he the one that does your videos?
He records.
Okay.
The YouTube videos I edit.
Okay.
He does like the cinematic,
cinematography type of thing.
All that stuff. Like all this, like all the dope mixes. Not on my page, but on his page. Obviously, all the mixes you see and stuff like that. He makes all that shit. So like, he's very, very talented. But, you know, ever since like we left high school and stuff, I was like telling him, I'm like, yo, like, I want to do YouTube. I want to make videos and like play ball and stuff like that. And obviously at that time, like being in high school and like coming out of high school and stuff like that, you're not like, I wasn't mature enough yet. So obviously through a little bit of time and obviously like with the help of the spiritual awakening and stuff like that, I was able to really step back and reflect on everything that I've been through, you know, the lessons I've learned, and okay, what can I take from, you know, the things that I've learned, and how can I move forward with it? So over time, right, coming into this summer in April, we started the YouTube channel. We started recording, and I actually sat down with him and I told him, I'm like, listen, bro, like, this is my vision. I want you to be a part of it. I don't need you full time, but, you know, if you would like to, you're more than welcome to be by my side as much as possible, helping me with everything.
But at what point does like a number say, oh shit, like, I've made this many numbers, that means I'm famous? There's not a time that happens.
Honestly, like, I don't like obviously, like, everybody wants to be famous, but I don't want to use that word. Mm-hmm. I just want to have, okay, this is my thing. I tell a lot of people this, and I'm going to tell you guys this. You have all these people, no matter what city or country you're from, that have grown in influence. Keyword, influence. Their following is influenced by what they do. And I feel like in this world, there's a lot of negative influences, and there's more negative influencers than there is positive ones. Mm-hmm. And my whole, like, a part of like what I like, a part of the reason why I want to grow my page and stuff like that, and my influence, is to influence people in a positive way. Mm-hmm. You know, and obviously with that, you gotta make your steps, take your steps, and as you continue to,
But how much is that because you want to influence people in a positive way, but people feed on the negativity too. Like there's a reason pages like Six Buzz, World Star, these places like these funny clips pages, they're so popular. It's because they show people doing shit that like they're freaking laughing. People are in the comment section saying, "Oh, this guy's this guy's that." I'm rolling. Like, why does this person look like that? Or like, oh, if it's a funny video of a fat girl, like, oh, this fat, this and that. But when you have that positive, there's still the negatives. Like here, I thought this was going to be a little bit of a funny thing. I wanted to bring it up at some point, but you look at K Showtime's comment section, and you go to like, there's one where he's holding a ball and he's in the trenches. He's in the trenches of the thing, and he's like, I forget the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of, "I'm in the trenches," that type of thing.
I remember.
And he comes out, and the first comment on it, it's a guy. I forget his name. It's something like mac and cheese, something like that. The first one was like, "Your parents own a house in North York. You don't live in government housing. Shut up." And it wasn't even that one, because it was like he had 15 followers, like, and 514 following. So he was his opinion was already gone. But the real thing that really stood out to me, and it relates to your point, is a like. So it had 137 likes. And you go into the like section. I was doing a little bit of research on it.
Of course.
The likes are they follow K Showtime. You know what I mean? And they're watching his content, and they're feeding in how many subscribers he has, 50, 60K, whatever he has. And it's the people that you follow and the people that watch your shit that can sometimes dislike you or say and like people's comments like that.
Yeah. Like, honestly, that comment, it's funny because I was actually at his house.
When it happened?
No, man, I was at, like, I've been to his house, and he doesn't live in a house. Like he lives in a complex. So, like, it's sort of, yeah. I don't want to speak on like his situation and stuff like that, but like, yo, like he really like is what he says. You know what I mean? Like he is really from the trenches.
Yeah, and you got it. Like, and then people, that's how rumors get started, and then people say, oh, this and that. Oh, how did this guy get to that point? And they think that something's up when really you got to respect it, and you got to respect the hard work that it took to get there.
100%, 100. And like at the same time, like, bro, at the end of the day, like, do you think he cares? Like, I'm pretty sure he pinned that comment. I remember that comment. I'm pretty sure he pinned it.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a
No.
Bro, that guy's getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
Do you think he gives a Give this guy a year, bro. He's moving his family out of that place. I'm telling you that much. But I'm not going to speak further on his situation. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, like, comments like that, they definitely do, like, turn the eye. And people be like, what the
Yeah.
You know? But, yeah.
Yeah. But K Showtime, I appreciate what he's doing. But
100%.
So sort of the one thing I want to touch on here, and sort of, obviously you play your sport, basketball, that's your sport of choice. And there's always like the odds that take in with trying to make it. So for instance, odds. To make the NCAA, if you're a senior varsity athlete, it's 1 in 35. That you're on a senior team and you're going to make it. To play in the NCAA is like 2.6%. Just to play in the NCAA. 1.2 chance of making it from the NCAA to the NBA. And in general, there's a 0.03 chance of anybody ever, like person making the NBA. So you look at those odds. What does that tell you? I'm gonna ask you. What does that tell you?
It doesn't tell me shit. I have one thing to say though. So everybody's goal is to what? Make it to the league. Every hooper wants to go to the league.
Hundo.
Okay. So if you're going in the league, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What does the league bring you? So if you sign, right? What do you get?
Sign with who?
Whoever. Pick
Knicks.
a team.
Knicks.
Okay. Knicks sign you, right? It's like, bro, what do you get from it? Tell me everything you'd get from it.
What you get, like, in terms of the whole package?
Everything, the whole package.
Okay. You get a place to play your basketball. You get a whole stadium, MSG, Square Garden, sold out every night.
Cool.
Watching you play.
Cool. You
get the contract. Probably depends if I'm a draft pick. If I'm getting drafted, I'm probably like getting at least millions, like 5 million, 10 million out the gate.
Okay.
I'm getting verified on Instagram.
Publicity.
Okay. And what else you getting? You're getting a legacy almost. You're getting like you're in the NBA now, and you signed that contract, and you have a chance to play in the league that Jordan played in, LeBron played in, Kobe played in, and you get a chance to do the legacy. That's what I would answer that question.
There was one key point right there that I actually liked. Everything else you can find somewhere else.
That's true.
Media, it comes with YouTube. It comes with, like, social media is everything now, right? Videotaping is everything now. People Snapchat every day. You're telling me like people can't be photographers and videographers? Bro, you use your camera every day. And if you're telling me otherwise, then that's false, right? It's a part of this is a part of our lives now, right? It's just some people carry around bigger cameras than others. Like I don't know what to tell you, right?
I like that quote. I'm
telling you right now, it's like, bro, it's like anybody can do it, and it's like, okay, you gotta look at your niche, you gotta look at your market, you gotta be like, okay, what comes with it? So like back to elementary school, right? I was never able really to like balance schoolwork with basketball. It was too overwhelming for me, and you know, I'll never forget this day. This teacher sat down with me. I think it was in grade like 5 or 6. And, you know, obviously, like, they knew, like, I had potential to play basketball at a high level as long as I took the right steps. And, you know, one thing she brought up, she's like, yo, like, there's a lot of Chris's in the world. My name's Chris. But she's like, yo, there's a lot of Chris's in the world that, you know, are trying to be at the same place you're trying to be at. And, you know, they're all doing well in school. Or, you know, a lot of them know that they have to do well in school and stuff like that. And, you know, I was just like, bro, like, that. Like, I don't need school for shit. You know what I mean?
And a lot of the people, like, you look at all these celebrities, they don't even, some of them, it's like dropping out of high school, that's best. Like, I was watching even, like, sometimes I watch, like, motivational videos, you know? Like,
I watch motivational videos every day, bro.
Like, Chicken Man, do you know that one? Okay.
No. Yeah.
But, like, you just watch all these videos, and then, like, all these guys, like Elon Musk, he'll tell you, or, like, Steve Harvey, or whoever, they'll be like, high school, it's overrated, you know what I mean? Or like, because ultimately, and I say this, I don't know who said it, it was definitely on a Joe Rogan podcast, but they said like, I think it was Elon Musk on Joe Rogan's podcast actually, he said that going to university and doing all this stuff, and I'm in university, so I'm maybe part of the problem, but it's pretty much like doing your chores, am I right? Exactly, Andreas is nodding in the background for anybody at home, but it's true, it's like doing your chores and doing your work, it's nothing that they're telling you that's going to be like, oh my God, revelation. Like, I can't believe that he said that.
Yeah.
It's ultimately, they're showing you a certain skill. Unless you're trying to be a doctor, engineer, something like that, that's a different type of thing. But if you're trying to do something like this, vlog, trying to like, I don't know, jump, be an athlete, do something like that. Like, make your own, like, start a business, crypto stuff, going through the roof, all this. You can learn that online. It's 100%. Just a simple YouTube tutorial.
Yep. Exactly.
Isn't it?
YouTube is school now, bro.
YouTube is school.
YouTube is the best schooling you'll ever get as long as you type in the right.
Yeah, the right keywords, right?
Exactly. One thing like I've been telling my friends, like I tell my friends a lot of things, so you guys are gonna hear this quote. One thing I tell my friends and stuff like that. One thing I tell people. One thing I tell a lot of people that I come across is, in regards to school, is like, I don't think school is gonna be okay. I don't think school's gonna be around, but I don't think it's gonna be as mandatory as it is now in the next 20 to 30 years.
No.
I think after elementary school, after you learn the basics, like you'll be able to really do what you want.
Well, yeah, and even right now, the school system is like the way that things are moving, and like the things that we're learning. Like you tell somebody right now in grade 12 or like in university that's not already invested, like, oh, how do you start investing? They're not gonna know. Like, I don't even know. And that's something that should be being taught. Like, why are they not teaching us how to make money? Why are they not teaching us like those valuable skills in life that can actually get you there? Yep. And it's just a system.
Money.
And once you get into that system, I talked about it. You get into that cycle. I call it the cycle. The cycle for me is when you're doing that same thing. You can be on a good cycle or a bad cycle. Yeah. Good cycle. It would look something like this. You go wake up in the morning. You're like, okay, today I'm going to go out, go on a run. Go home from the run and do your homework, do your chores. You treat people better. Yep. You're starting to do everything like that, and you go on that, and you're in a good cycle. You know what I mean? You're a good path. Then you get home, you just finished, tired, long day. It's okay. All right. I don't know. I'm sort of hungry. I could go for like some Osmos, or like I can go for like a Burger King. You go home, you get your Burger King. Now where are you? You're in the bad cycle. You know why? Because the Burger King leads to Netflix. Netflix leads to sleeping in the next day. Sleeping in the next day leads to not doing what you were doing the last day because, oh, I did it yesterday, I can do it the next day. And then for too many people, it's like, oh, it's the next day, the next day, the next day. But when is it going to be the day? Wow. And nobody's, I don't think enough people are trying to make it their day. And that's just me. But I love what we're doing here. Anything that you else want to add or you felt that you've connected to from what we said?
Bro, just sit down with yourself for at least 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. And really ask yourself, is what I'm doing making me happy? Do you feel fulfilled? and just reflect on everything you've went through, reflect on your current situation, and reflect on where you want to be in the future, because a lot of people don't know where they want to be in the next 6 months to a year, 5 years, right? And cycles, right?
Yeah.
Cycles, you become delusional in those cycles, and you don't notice it.
And it takes you to places that sometimes you don't want to go to, and that's where depression comes in, this and that.
But also, that's a lesson. So as much as people look at it as a negative experience, and yeah, it is a negative experience, but at the same time, bro, you can learn so much from it. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, okay.
At the same time, bro, because like I can speak forever. Like I already told you this. I can talk for 24 hours. Like you want to host a 24-hour podcast? Like have me on, no problem. As long as there's food and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like I'll do it, bro. But like, bro, like just do it, bro, and stop caring about what people think. And bro, everything takes time. Everything. You just got to start. I don't even remember starting the YouTube channel, like starting again, you know, because I had the channel for a bit. I don't even remember starting everything again. I don't remember the first video that, like, obviously if I go back, I'll see the first video that I dropped, but off the top of my head, like, I can't remember the first YouTube video I posted. It just, I started and now I'm here. Like, I don't even know how many videos later, but I'm here now and I'm rolling. All it takes is time.
It takes time, and that's what we're out of. And that's the 21 Perspectives podcast. I got my boy Grizz. Grizz, I gotta say, respect to you, my brother.
Thank you for having me, bro. First
love
podcast.
That. Yeah, first podcast with a guest on 21 Perspectives, and I really enjoyed him. You gotta listen to this guy. Make sure you sub to his YouTube channel. Follow him on Instagram, TikTok, all those major platforms. If you have anything to plug, you can plug it now.
One thing I'm gonna say is you don't have to follow me. You have to do none of that shit as long as you just hear me out. Hear one thing that I have to say in one of my videos. Take away from it in a positive way. My mission's done. That's it.
Even better, my brother. Love it, and peace out.